Hi, everybody. This video is for if you have been trying to read Grapes of Wrath and you have a few questions about it, or you feel like you'd like a little bit more guidance with how to understand it. This video, I'll be showing you how to get there, actually, which is why I'm starting on Pearson's home screen. And then I will also read it through with you and explain a few of the important parts of the story to you. So hopefully you have a better understanding of it. So to find the story, you're going to go to Browse, which is where you always want to go to find your student edition of the textbook. Here it is. Go ahead and open that up in a new window. Let it load. It always needs a little time. There we go. So I can get rid of my toolbar here. Anyway, now you're always going to want to go to Menu in the top corner here. I'm going to click that, then go to Table of Contents. Move that guy. And we are officially on our last unit right now, which is Facing Adversity. So you're going to expand Unit 5 and go to Whole Class Learning. And there you're going to see some of the things we've been doing recently. You got your Dust Bowl video, and here is Grapes of Wrath, which is what we're reading right now. All right, so we got that all ready to go. Now, I'm going to read this through with you guys. And again, I'll just be stopping. I'm going to show you a few tools, such as highlighting, which you can use to collect your vocabulary words for your vocab assignment. And also, after each paragraph, I'll just give you a very brief synopsis of what just happened. So again, hopefully this helps you with understanding the story. One other tool I want to point out is this up here. If you are someone who really likes to listen to things being read to you, you're going to find this at the top of every story you read. It's an audiobook version of it. So feel free to use this as well. All right, here we go. And your historical context for this is very important. I'm going to go to background here. Basically, this is occurring during the Great Depression in the Dust Bowl, which is why we watched that video at the beginning of this week. So this excerpt here is having to do with families who are living in the Dust Bowl and trying to make a living from farming and failing because it is just so hard at this time to do that. So they are selling their belongings to try and make just a little bit more money so they can get out of there and hopefully start a new life. So that background information, which you'll find here as well, is really important to this story because it helps you understand what's going on a little bit better. Let's start with paragraph 1 here. In the little houses, the tenant people sifted their belongings and the belongings of their fathers and of their grandfathers, picked over their possessions for the journey to the west. The men were ruthless because the past had been spoiled, but the women knew how the past would cry to them in the coming days. The men went into the barns and the sheds. So in a nutshell, what's going on here is tenant families who basically are people living off of the land. That's what tenant means. I'm going to highlight that word for myself because that's a good vocab word to include later to look up. But these tenant families are going over their belongings, the things that they own, trying to figure out what they can sell to make a little bit of extra money. So that's in general what's going on here. Now I'm going to go through and see if there are any other words I'm going to highlight that I am not familiar with. Sifted might be a good one. You might not know that word. And ruthless, which is actually one of our vocab words. So we will come back to this word, but I'm going to highlight it. All right. There's our paragraph 1. Families are going through their belongings, trying to figure out what they can sell. That plow, that harrow. Remember in the war we planted mustard? Remember a fellow wanted us to put in that rubber bush they call Goyelle? Get rich, he said. Bring out those tools. Get a few dollars for them. $18 for that plow, plus freight, Sears Roebuck. All right, paragraph 2. They're starting to remember some of the memories they have attached to these items. For instance, they say, remember a fellow wanted us to put in that rubber bush, called Goyelle? And remember how we planted mustard? So here they're having these memories sparked as they go over these items. Again, each paragraph go over, highlight some of those words you don't know. Maybe harrow is a new word to you. Or for me, this is a new word, guayel. Paragraph 3. Harness, carts, cedars, little bundles of hose. Bring them out, pile them up, load them in the wagon, take them to town. Sell them for what you can get. Sell the team and the wagon too. No more use for anything. So again, they're listing all these items that they're hoping that they can sell. Stop and highlight any words you don't know. 50 cents isn't enough to get for a good plow. That cedar costs $38. $2 isn't enough. Can't haul it all back. Well, take it, and a bitterness with it. Take the well pump and the harness. Take halters, collars, hames, and tugs. Take the little glass brow band jewels, roses red under glass. Got those for the bay gelding. Remember how he lifted his feet when he trotted? All right. So at the beginning here, they're starting to talk money. What can they get from selling these items? They're saying 50 cents isn't enough. And that cedar that we're trying to sell you back cost us $38. And you're only trying to give us $2 for it. So they're saying here that the people they're trying to sell these items to are really shortchanging them. They are not giving them very much money for these things, and they need that money. And then they say, well, take it. So they're saying we have to sell it anyway, even though we can't get enough money for these things because we need that money so badly. And they list some other things at the bottom here they're trying to sell. Then again, we have this idea of remembering the memories and the experiences attached to these items. In this case, they're talking about a horse that they've had to sell. Junk piled up in a yard. Can't sell a hand plow anymore. 50 cents for the weight of the metal. Discs and tractors. That's the stuff now. Now they're saying certain things are selling better than others. A hand plow isn't really being taken anymore by people who are buying things, but discs and tractors are being taken. Well, take it. All junk and give me $5. You're not buying only junk. You're buying junked lives. And more. You'll see. You're buying bitterness. Buying a plow to plow your own children under. Buying the arms and spirits that might have saved you. $5, not $4. I can't haul them back. Well, take them for $4. But I warn you, you're buying what will plow your own children under. And you won't see. You can't see. Take them for $4. Now, what'll you give for the team and the wagon? Those fine bays, matched as they are, matched in color, matched the way they walk, stride to stride. In the stiff, pole-straining hams and buttocks, split second time together. And in the morning, the light on them, bay light. They look over the fence, sniffing for us, and the stiff ears swivel to hear us. And the black forelocks. I've got a girl. She likes to braid the manes and forelocks, puts little red bows on them. Likes to do it. Not anymore. I could tell you a funny story about that girl in that off bay. Would make you laugh. Off horse is 8, near is 10, but might have been twin colts the way they work together. See the teeth, sound all over, deep lungs. Feet fair and clean. How much? $10 for both? In the wagon? I'd shoot 'em for dog feed first. Oh, take 'em. Take 'em quick, mister. You're buying a little girl plaiting the forelocks, taking off her hair ribbon to make bows, standing back, head cocked, rubbing the soft noses with her cheek. You're buying years of work, toil in the sun. You're buying a sorrow that can't talk. But watch it, mister. There's a premium goes with this pile of junk, the bay horses. So beautiful. A packet of bitterness to grow in your house into flowers someday. We could have saved you, but you cut us down. And soon you will be cut down and there'll be none of us to save you. So this is a very long paragraph, but to summarize, there's a sentence at the beginning that really gets at the main idea of this paragraph. And that sentence is, you're buying junked lives. I'm actually going to highlight this in a different color than I'm using for the words I don't know. You're buying junked lives. So what they're saying here is the people who are buying the stuff of these people, they're not just buying the stuff that they're selling, they're also buying the memories of their lives. And they're calling these junked lives because their lives have kind of been ruined by these dust storms. They are just having to completely start over. But the men who are coming around to buy their stuff, they're buying everything that they can sell. Now, if we scroll down, they talk a lot about these beautiful horses that they have. And specifically, they talk about a memory that goes along with those horses. So again, the men are not just buying those horses. They're also buying this memory of the girl who likes to braid the horse's hair, put little bows on them, talks about this little girl for a while. So basically, your main idea here is the stuff that's being sold is not just stuff. It's also parts of people's lives. Not just one last paragraph here. And the tenant man came walking back, hands in their pockets, hats pulled down. Some bought a pint and drank it fast to make the impact hard and stunning. But they didn't laugh and they didn't dance. They didn't sing or pick the guitars. They walked back to the farms, hands in pockets and heads down, shoes kicking the red dust up. And that is where you're stopping for today. This last paragraph, remember the tenant men are the men who are selling this stuff to try and make just a little money so they can start over. This paragraph describes them coming back from having sold all these things. And as you can see, they didn't laugh and they didn't dance, so they're not happy about the stuff they've sold. They're not happy with how much money they got for it, and they're not happy that they had to sell it, but they did have to. So this is a very sad thing for them. Their heads are down and they wish that they didn't have to be doing this. So that is where we're stopping with this story for today. There is more that we're going to read next week. But again, I just wanted to go over this for those of you who are having trouble understanding the main idea of this. I hope this helped, but if you want me to go over anything else with you that you had questions about, please let me know. We can set up a Zoom session one-on-one to talk about that a little bit more.